Welcome back to the Guy Dawson Show at the World Center of Broadcast Media. We're all having a little chuckle here because
you're always prepared. Just leave it at that. You're always prepared.
the Vegas reporter Renee Adams is well prepared with her breath now because of my preparedness.
I have, you know, Panda Express. There you go. So I'm like, hey, wait a minute. We want to get it right.
You're going to pronounce it right with her breath of rice.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we don't want to go there.
See, that's a whole nother
show.
We have to do another show on
that
one. I've been speaking with my good friend, Ron Guarnieri. He is a legend in the entertainment industry, and last time we got together like this, Ron, you brought the boys from Australian Bee Gees onto my radio show a couple of years ago. Let me tell you, it was one of the most successful shows that I've ever had on the radio. The phones rang off the hook. They offered free tickets to people, and people just kept calling and calling, and it really was a good measuring stick of how much people like that show.
There, you know, we do it 6 nights a week at the Excalibur, and I get to talk to a lot of people, and what's so amazing about it is it brings us all back to our youth. I mean, I was in high school when the Bee Gees were being a big deal, and you know, all the disco and even stuff before that, because the show really runs the gamut from the 60s to the 90s, and they also do, you know, portions of the show of the music that they wrote for other people that, you know, who thinks about that? We don't think about that all the time. So tonight, you know, is a really exciting night. Can I talk about that?
Please, absolutely.
Tonight is our 1500th performance at the Excalibur.
Wow, that is
Very
a star.
exciting.
Put a star on that.
There you go.
The boys they put on an amazing show. If you ever get a chance to go over to the Excalibur for the Australian Bee Gees, I think I've been twice.
Oh, okay.
And I would go again. But I love the Bee Gees. I mean, I didn't know how much I liked the Bee Gees until I went to that show.
I listen to that music every single night, and I never tire of it because it's happy and it's just great, and it does bring me back to my high school, and which was a great time, and the people. It's so wonderful to watch the audience just love it and enjoy it so much. So it's a great thing, and we have a big celebration tonight. In fact, we have Sandy Anderson, who impersonates Dolly Parton, and Marva Scott, who impersonates Diana Ross, and they're coming into the show tonight, and they're going to sing their hits with the Bee Gees.
Wow, that's
so it's
nice.
very exciting, and you know, I'm very blessed to be a part of a show that's so strong on the Strip.
Absolutely.
And with Spy Entertainment, our co-producers, you know, they've got Human Nature and Divas and Boys to Men and the famed Thunder from Down Under boys. Yeah, I'm part of a really big organization that treats us like we're all individuals, which is great.
It's important
It's
too.
a tough business, as you know,
Right.
and they take very, very good care of us.
Good.
Talking about being tough, 20 years just here in Vegas, you've been in this.
Next month, I will be here 20 years. I came here 20 years ago. I met Robert Goulet in Atlanta, Georgia. He was coming in to do South Pacific as Emile DeBeck, which is a show he did for many, many years. And the producers of the show were like, "Well, he needs a personal assistant for a couple of weeks."
Oh, wow.
Could you do
Are
that?
you kidding?
And I'm like, "Yeah, I can do anything for a couple of weeks, you know."
I know, that's right. Give it a try.
So I met him. I met Robert and his wife Vera, and we just hit it off. It was great. And when the 2 weeks were over, we were in the elevator. I was actually taking them to the airport, and Mrs. Goulet said, "Would you ever consider moving to Vegas?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. Tell me when." You know,
that's right.
Ha ha ha. And they got in the airplane and they left. And I thought, yeah, okay. Well, then they called and I talked to them, and then they'd call and I'd talk to them, and finally, probably 2.5 months later, they called and they said, "We have a job. We want you to come to Vegas."
Wow.
And I was living in Atlanta, Marietta, Georgia, so I had to pack up everything and come here. I had never been to Vegas ever.
Right, yeah.
I didn't know anybody but the Goulets, and I took, you know, that leap of faith. I mean, that's really what it was. And I came out here, and in fact, the day I started, unfortunately, his road manager was in the hospital with a quadruple bypass.
Oh, my.
I was just hired to help run the production office.
Yeah.
And I ended up that day becoming the manager of the production office, personal assistant, tour manager, going on the road with them. And it was a huge change for me. And I got to do Broadway with Robert. You know, he went to do Moon Over Buffalo on Broadway, and we toured around the United States with concert and speaking dates. And then I got to do the national tour of Man of La Mancha with him. So talk about full circle.
Absolutely.
You know, to start at 9 years old seeing Man of La Mancha, and then doing Man of La Mancha with Robert Goulet was amazing. It was amazing. So,
and that was incredible how that presented itself to you while you were in Georgia,
right?
And not even thinking that they were going to call you months later to offer you a position in a city that you've never been to before, and that was your calling.
That was my calling.
You've been doing it for this long, and you love doing what you do. A lot of people don't have that privilege to be able to enjoy their job and create some kind of passion within that.
It's true, and I like the word privilege. I don't use that, but I'm going to. I'm going to steal that, Renee, 'cause that's really good. Well, it really is a privilege. This is a tough business, and it's hard to stay relevant. It is hard to find work. I'm not saying I've worked nonstop for 24 years, but I've worked pretty steady for 24 years.
Right, yeah.
And Vegas is a really forgiving town for that reason. You know, and if I were in New York and a stage manager, all I could do is stage manage because they don't see you as anybody else.
Wow.
But in Vegas, we get to be a chameleon. I like to use that term because I can stage manage, I can company manage, I could act if I wanted to, and nobody would say, "Oh, well, you can't.
You were that guy
you can't do that."
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And or you're not serious about what you do. This town has been very, very, very
forgiving
to me and allowing me to do so many things. And it's been a great ride. I mean, the Goulets were incredible as friends, as employers, and then it changed my life.
We have a guest that's asking a question. What advice? What is that question? I don't see the full question.
Could you
on
tap
that.
in?
And open that question
We see
up?
you. Thank you very much, guest number
Yeah,
19.
thank you.
But we can't see the complete question that you're asking. So maybe you want to type it in again.
What advice? Well, there's lots of advice.
So Ron, we were talking about something before we came on the show today. I never knew that you had something to do with the launching of the gondola ride over at the Venetian.
I got hired before the Venetian opened by Blair Farrington and Farrington Entertainment.
Okay.
And I got hired to be the manager of the gondola ride.
Okay. I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry. I mean,
You never been to
It's the boat ride beside the Venetian.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Gondola. Is
Now,
it
that's
gondola
more-
or is it
That's
gon-
speaking more my language when you say a
Gondola.
boat, because I'm like, I don't know what that means. Sorry.
So they hired me just to manage the show, and I ended up help create it, help what they did. I came up with what the 7 points of the ride were in order to get it. It needed to be, because it's an amusement ride, like a roller coaster. It has to follow all the guidelines that the county commissioners outline. So it had to have training manuals and emergency evacuation, and we got it all certified under my management while I was there. So what's really awesome about it is that happened in 1999. So we're 16 years away. That will be my legacy.
There we go.
There you go. Thank
Advice
you.
for people who want to take the so-called leap of faith.
That's a good question. I don't. You have to feel it. It has to be inside. It's not a logical decision. It's not a logical decision. You are taking, to move my entire home and to come to Vegas. I just knew it was the right thing for me.
Right.
Lots of people said, "Wow, you're what? You're gonna?
Are you crazy?
Crazy?" Obviously, the situation working for a celebrity, you knew you had security and all of that sort of stuff. So that did help. I wasn't coming to work for the circus. I was coming to work for a celebrity. But you have to believe in yourself.
Yep.
Yes.
And you have to know what you want, and you have to take chances, and this was the biggest chance I've ever taken, and it was the biggest payoff I ever got.
Well, Ron, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. It's always good to see you, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This was a blast.
It was fun to have you, Ron.
Yeah, we'll have to have you come back. Maybe bring your boys. Bring the boys
That'd
along
be great.
with you one
They
of
would
these
love
times.
to come. They would love to come. Sure, anytime.
All right, we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to hear about all the highlights of the parties and events around Las Vegas from Las Vegas reporter Renee Adams. Stay tuned.